Hi, I'm Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the gentle yoga practice. This practice is designed for all ages and all levels, and I generally have a couple props, 2 yoga blocks and a little towel, but it's not necessary. This week we're working with the theme of silence. And that doesn't necessarily mean no sound. It means about going somewhere deeper than that so that we can connect to what our heart is saying. And we're going to also focus on the hips, finding some stability, strength, and opening. So let's go ahead and get started. Hop on your mat and I'll meet you there. So we'll find ourselves now in Sukhasana, or steady, happy seat. And that might look different on everybody's body. So some people might have their legs out like this. And you might find your knees are up if your hips are a little tight. And that's okay, as long as your low back is engaged and not rounded. So that might mean you might have to sit up on a couple of blankets or a bolster in order to achieve that. There's another option of just having your feet out. So just do what feels good in your body, and we'll take the hands down to the sides and just take a moment to notice, can you really feel supported in your pelvis and lift up? Pull the belly in, and then from here, we're just going to gently roll the shoulders away from the ears, and we're just going to take a look to the right, gazing down the nose, and come back to the center. And as you do this, let's inhale first, exhale, turn. Inhale, come back to the center, exhale, turn. Inhale, back to the center, exhale, turn. And then come back to the center. Now we go the other way. Draw the chin down. Inhale, exhale. Breathing. Inhale, exhale. And then head neutral. Now we're going to draw the right ear down to the right side. And from here, just take your right hand and gently, just the weight of your hand is allowing this nice stretch to happen. So I'm reaching through the fingers of that left hand, and I feel a nice neck stretch. And then draw the chin down. And breathe here. Inhale. As you exhale, see if you can release a little bit more. Find that beautiful silence, that exhalation. And then inhale. And coming up, we'll go to the other side. Drop the left ear, and then gently taking the hand just for weight, and then feel the shoulder reaching down. Inhale here, exhale, gently drop the chin. Nice neck stretch, just feel that. Inhale. Exhale, see if it goes a little deeper. No forcing, just going with the breath. And then inhale and rise up. Now let's reach the arms. Inhale. Let's go ahead and interlace and internally rotate the shoulders. Reach up. Just feel that. You can elevate, internally rotate, reach, reach, reach. Let's shrug down and shrug up. And then let's change, reach. Now again, shrug down and shrug up. And then we're going to take a side bend. So we go over to the right. Take the right hand down, and from here, I want you to feel like you're rolling your right shoulder away from your ear as you bend into that right side a little bit more, and then rise up. So you're really getting this long line here, and you're rolling your right shoulder away from your ear as you bend into the right side, stretching the left side, up, and then one more time, bend, hold, reach, 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 and then inhale, rise up. We'll go to the other side. Inhale, reach, and side bend. And then we're pulling this left shoulder away from the ear as you reach, 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 rise up, and really rolling that left shoulder away from the left ear as you pull in and reach. So you feel a bending into the left side, but a lengthening of the right side. Bend, reach, 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 and rise up. And then from here, a gentle twist. Inhale, reach up. You can elevate the shoulders for a moment. Exhale, turn to the right. Lift up, inhale. Exhale, turn a little bit more. If you wanted to, you could take your hand to the right knee. Inhale, exhale. And then inhale, reach. Exhale, the other side. Let the breath bring you around. Feel that silence. Inhale, nothing's forced. Exhale. Maybe take your hand to the outside of the left knee. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, reaching up and reaching out. Let's make our way over to all fours. So you could just take your knees to the side and coming on up. I'm going to use the blocks today, but it's, like I said, it's not necessary. It gives you a little height, so sometimes it's kind of nice. And we'll start with cat-cows. So inhale, let's come forward. We're engaging the back muscles and opening the front, not leading with the chin, but leading with the sternum. And then exhale, start to round the spine, really pull the belly in and lift. And then inhale and come forward, lengthen, and exhale, pushing down to lift up. And then come to neutral. Let's go ahead and open the knees and come to Adho Mukha Virasana. You could use the blocks, but again, you don't have to. Feel a deep hip crease and see if you can melt your hips closer to your heels and reach your arms forward. You could play around with your shoulders here. You could elevate and then depress. You can play around with rolling in, rolling out, and then just find a neutral, somewhere where you could find stillness, silence, and stay in that and breathe. Now just focus on the breath. And then inhale, rising up, and we'll come back to all fours. And from here, we're going to make our way to downward facing dog. The blocks really help if your hamstrings are tight. Inhale here and exhale. But again, some people don't need them. And breathe. You could even take your feet wide if you found that was helpful. And if your back is really rounding, it's a good idea to bend your knees and get your chest closer to your legs and try to get your back really lengthened. Then see if you can straighten your legs. You could bend and straighten a couple times. Also, something to really focus on is to pull the belly in. So your spine is supported. And breathe. You could even roll the shoulders a bit if that was feeling good in your body. And then inhale here, just listen. Your body will tell you what it wants. And then we'll slowly make our way up to standing. And you could have your feet hip width and just let your body hang. It's okay to grab your elbows maybe if you want. You could soften the knees, release the neck, release the hands now, and let's slowly roll up. So pull your belly in, bend your knees, and imagine you're stacking your spine. So it's one vertebra at a time. Just feel that. Supporting from the front, pulling the belly in. Inhale here, exhale, the shoulders roll back. And now we're in Tadasana, mountain pose. So just notice the legs are working. They're engaged just enough for support, and your pelvis it is nice and neutral. So you're not sticking your butt out. You're not tucking under. Nice and neutral. The shoulders are rolling down the spine. And this is what we want to maintain in our standing postures. So we're going to try a couple today. I'm going to encourage you to use support of the wall if you find that helpful. And we'll come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So we'll step out. And standing poses are so important for the hips, for stability and mobility. So we turn the left foot in and the right foot out, keeping the legs straight now. We're going to come into triangle pose. So you could use your wall here. You could even have your hip on the wall if that was helpful and reach up through the left hand. Or you might be able to come off the wall and inhale here. Feel the hips strong. You might even feel the legs stretching, the side stretching. Breathe. Let your breath take you deeper. Inhale, exhale. And now inhale, rise up. Now we're going to try a very powerful pose. Warrior two. Bend the front knee. But you can be in silence here and just be so strong. Breathe. Inhale, you could lean back, but feel how the hips are working. They're stretching. They're strong. They're supportive. Inhale and rise up. Let's go to the other side. So turn the right foot in. Your stance might shorten a little for Trikonasana. Inhale here. Feel this hip hinge. Come deep into that hip socket as you come into the pose. Breathe. Inhale. You might want to turn and look up or look straight ahead. You could lean back if you needed to, or use the hip muscles and start to feel the balance and the strength. and then inhale, rise up. Now we're going to bend into warrior two, so I go a little longer with my stance, and I feel the opening of the hips, trying to stay centered, opening the shoulders, and just gaze now over the fingertips. Breathing, inhale, a silent, strong warrior. Breathe, inhale, and exhale. You really feel how you use the hips, and rising up, and then we'll step back up to the front. Samasthiti. So here we go. We're going to come down to the floor again. Reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge. Try a nice flat back, forward bend. Come halfway down. Feel that. Feel how your hips are hinging and your back is engaged. You could even have your hands on your thighs, or maybe you want to use the blocks and lengthen. And then from here, folding in, drop the head down. And then inhale, lengthen. Let's go ahead and I'm going to take the blocks and come back into downward facing dog for a moment. And just notice how that feels now. Breathing. And then we'll come to the knees. And then from here, we're going to make our way into puppy pose. I'm going to use the blocks, but of course you don't have to. And just make sure you try to keep your hips above your knees, not behind them, and you're trying to melt your chest downwards, but you don't want tension in your shoulders. So only go as far as feels good in your body. Breathe. So maybe you stay up here. That's okay. Maybe some of you can come down because it feels supported. Breathe. Breathe. You feel the back bend here. And then inhale, rising up. And now we're going to make our way down to the floor. So you could just come to seated. And we're going to do a couple restorative forward bends. So from here, I'm going to use the block for support for my head. I have the feet hip width and sit way up, even if you have to bend the knees to do that, right? And then from here, we're going to come forward and just relax the head down. And breathe. Inhale. You could be up higher. And exhale, try to engage the legs. So you're getting, if you engage the front of the legs, you'll get a nice stretch in the back. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, lengthen and rise up. And now we'll do a forward bend in the diamond shape. So this really helps to open the hips. So make this nice diamond. Let's pull the belly in and round over and breathe. You could even be higher, or you don't have to use props. You could be here, but it's nice to make contact. Breathe, try to open the knees, relax the shoulders. I like these restorative poses because there's a lot going on, but it's very quiet. It's very silent, but very alive. Let's make our way down to the floor. So from here, we're going to do a roll back. So start to sit up as tall as you can, even if that means bending your knees to start. And then we start to curl the spine back, but it's supported because I'm pulling my belly way in and coming all the way back. And then once I'm here, we're going to go ahead and bend the knees for set 2 Bandhasana. Inhale here, exhale, lift up. Really roll the shoulders away from your ears, lift up as high as you can. Really make sure your chin isn't down, it's not up, it's just right in neutral. And you really feel the butt and the hamstrings. Lift up as high as you can. Lift, keep lifting, keep feeling that. It's supported and working. We need those hips. And now reach your arms and see if you can lift your heels. And let's slowly articulate down. So now you curl and feel the back of your legs. The shoulders are reaching, you curl and come all the way down. And then from here, keep your arms reaching if it's feeling okay, and take your feet together and your knees open, Baddha Konasana. Supta Baddha Konasana. You could take your arms out to the side if that felt better in your body. And then we'll slowly bring everything in. And then let's go ahead and cross the right ankle over the left knee. A gentle pull in for the figure 4 stretch. Pulling in. Make sure you're not tense in your neck. You want to relax back as best you can. So you could stay here if that was better. And then from here, let's go ahead and take it to a twist. So we're going to take the right foot over to the left and try to roll that right shoulder open and try to open that right knee. And then we'll bring it back. We'll go the other way. So I'm gently encouraging this left knee down with my right ankle. Feels nice in here. And breathe. But if it was too much, you don't have to. And then inhale, come back. Let's do the other side. Pulling in. Feel that left knee opening no matter which position you're in. And then we're going to take it over to the right side and take our gaze over to the left. I'm still trying to open this knee. Breathe. And then inhale, coming up, and we'll go the other way. So I'm just, with my left ankle, I'm encouraging this knee down. There's like a diagonal going on. It's a nice stretch in here. Breathe. I'm going to gaze over to the right. And then slowly bringing the legs back up. Let's go ahead and come into a happy baby. You can rock around. You can hold on lower if you wanted to. And then we're going to release into Shavasana. And find that silence where your heart can speak. And stay in that. And I'm going to come up to seated and go over some inspirational quotes on silence. But you could stay here as long as you'd like. So if you're coming up to seated with me, just bend the knees. Slowly make your way over to the right. And make your way up to seated. And just take a moment and find your steady, happy seat. And I'm going to go through the quotes of silence. Silence is a source of great strength. Don't underestimate the power of a quiet mind. In silence, answers often find us. Sometimes you don't need to say anything. Silence can say more than words ever could. When you allow silence into your life, you create space for clarity, healing, and peace. Speak only if it improves upon the silence. In the quiet moments, the soul speaks the loudest. Silence is where we remember who we are beneath the noise of the world. And let this theme of silence resonate in everything you do. Namaste.